Okay, guys, so let's talk about snacking because I know it's something that a lot of people struggle with, and we all know how quickly the calories can add up when we snack, especially on certain types of food. So, how can we sort of reduce this? Now, I will say the absolute easiest way is keep it out of the house. It's just the simplest way and it works. Okay, that's what I do. I go out especially to get things and I buy them an exact amount so there's never anything left over because I know for a fact that if it's in the house, I will eat it. And that is true for everybody. If it's in the house, it's only a matter of time before you eat it. Simple as that. Okay. Now I understand that that might not be doable for everybody. And also, it doesn't tackle the obstacle of work. It always seems like somebody's bringing something into work, for example. So how can we sort of reduce this? Now, this is from a study from a guy called Brian Wansink, and he basically is very big on, he studies sort of behaviour and sort of food behaviour and environment and how that shapes our eating behaviour. And I find this fascinating because it's so simple but makes a huge difference, okay? So basically what they did in this one study was they looked at secretaries and they basically gave them unlimited access to chocolate, okay? For example, specifically Hershey's Kisses. And basically they put them in 3 different locations in the office, okay? So firstly, they put them on the desk in plain sight so like you could just reach them and grab them. The second location was on the desk but in a drawer, okay, and the drawer was closed. The third location was 6 feet away in a filing cabinet, okay? Now, obviously each one of these requires a little more effort, okay? So it's a little more effort to, go into the drawer than it is to pick it up off the desk. It's a little more effort to get up and walk 6 feet away, okay? And basically what they found was that even though these barriers were very small, they made a big difference and they basically made these Hershey's Kisses less attractive, okay? So what they found was when they were on the desk in plain sight, they ate on average 9 Hershey's Kisses a day. When they were in the top drawer, they ate 6 a day. And when they were 6 feet away in the filing cabinet, they ate 4 a day, okay? And I personally find this fascinating because just moving them 6 feet away, which is not a sizable difference. It's not across the road or down 10 flights of stairs. It's 6 feet. And that reduced how many they ate by over half. Okay, just moving them 6 feet away. Okay. And I read this somewhere else about this study, but I can't find where it was. But basically, they worked out the calories and how this would equate calorie-wise. And the difference between having it on your desk and having it in a cabinet 6 feet away basically equated to £10 a year. So you would lose £10 a year by having them 6 feet away than you would having them on your desk. That is just Hershey's Kisses. This is no other part of your diet. This is just moving chocolate 6 feet away. £10 a year. Unbelievable. Okay? So, and what was also fascinating is when they asked these people, why did you eat less? It was just 6 feet away. Was it difficult for you to go and get it? And basically what they said is no, not really. But what it did is it gave them a pause and it gave them a moment to think. And they use this moment to basically say, am I really that hungry? And half the time they said, no, I'm not that hungry that, even though it's only 6 feet, I'm not so hungry that I want to get up and walk 6 feet to get it. Whereas if it's right in front of you, you just pick it up, okay? Now, sort of what you can take from this is don't make food too easy to eat, especially these foods that you're trying to cut down on, okay? And like, as we've seen before, small barriers make a huge difference. So anything from having them in a cabinet, if you look back at the study, just having them in the drawer and having to open the drawer meant that they ate 2 less a day. Just the difference from having it on the desk to having it in a drawer. So things like that, having it in a drawer, having it in a cabinet, having to twist off a lid, having to peel an orange, having to shell nuts, having to walk to the garage or the pantry. They seem so small and insignificant, but they make a huge difference. And they can make the difference between eating the right amount and overeating. As we saw, the difference, £10 a year, just for 6 feet of difference, you could lose £10 a year just because you put chocolate 6 feet away, okay? So what you really need to focus on is not keeping easy, tempting foods in plain sight. So, and again, If we're talking house, keep them out. If you can keep them out, keep them out. It just eliminates all the different possibilities of you eating them. So, but if you can't, and again, if we're talking about work, just make them as inaccessible as possible. Just find ways to make it harder for you to get to them, and that in turn will make you eat less. So simple, but so effective. Okay, so hopefully you got some value from that, guys. If you did, please feel free to like, comment and share, because I always appreciate it, and it does help the videos to go out to more people, which is of course my goal, to help as many people as I can. So please feel free to do that, and I shall see you in the next video. Thank you.